All right, so now to finish off the episode, we are going to get into my top five and worst five NFL rankings after week number 11. So to start with number one, I'm sticking with the same team I had at number one last week. That is the Los Angeles Rams. Now, the Rams are 8-2. They had the game of the week against another top tier team. It came down to the wire, as I mentioned earlier, and they were able to pull off the win. To me, like I've said for a while now, they still appear to be the most balanced team as far as their defense being good enough to stop top tier offenses and their offense being good enough to put up points almost every week. At number two, I'm going with the New England Patriots. The Patriots are 9-2. The Patriots came off a win from Thursday night against the Jets, where they proved that they weren't in the same league with them and proved that they deserve to stay in this top five. The real sign of good teams is when they play poor teams is that they don't let them play with them. You know, they don't make the game close. They don't make it interesting and show that they're clearly tiers above them. And that's exactly what they did. At number three, this one might surprise some people. I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks. That's right. They did lose this week. They are now 7-3. This is not a standings. This is power rankings. This is who is going to be better than who if they played on the field. And I think what was evident from that game against the Rams was that Seattle was basically on the same tier with the Rams, right? I could even argue that if Seattle played New England in a head-to-head game, that Seattle probably would be favored to win the game. But for the sake of them losing, I'm going to keep them at three. Now at number four, I'm going with the Denver Broncos. Now the Broncos are 9-2. I got to be honest, ultimately, I haven't been too impressed with the Broncos. And when I was first going through this top five, I didn't think I was even going to put them in my top five. But I started thinking back to last year, right? When the Chiefs had a lot of one score games that came down to the wire and they just found a way to win. So, with that same kind of background, I'm thinking, like, well, if a team always finds the way to win, even if it always doesn't look great, then you got to give them credit where credit is due. And then rounding out the top five at number five, I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are 8-2. They came off of one of their most impressive wins of the season so far, beating the Detroit Lions. And more so impressive because it was the defense that really got the win for them.